Ahoy, hoy, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The O Show. I'm O, and I'm here for your amusement. Okay, y'all. So the time has come, okay, for the next movie within this Pooniverse situation that's happening. I am talking about Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, okay? It is only in theaters January 13th, 14th, and 15th. So if you want to see this movie, yeah, get off your butt to go see it because it's only in a theater for. Why do they do that? It's only in a theater for like 3 days, and it's like one showing each day. Like I ain't got nothing else to do. So, oh guys, y'all, this movie is so disturbing. But how do I say this? Okay, you know what? Oh my gosh. So, okay, so this whole Pooniverse thing, okay? You got Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, right? Winnie the Pooh was crap. And then maybe the makers of that movie heard me and was like, oh man, Orpheus didn't like it. Like we gotta do something. So they made Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, which was like a big step up. Okay. More money was spent and all that jive. Okay. Now, it's still a slasher Winnie the Pooh movie, so you can't expect like the best out of this. I mean, if I had money, I would probably make a stupid Winnie the Pooh movie. Once the damn copyright is like expired. So now we have Peter Pan. Now, one thing I can appreciate with this movie is that it's not some man running around in a green outfit. Just like Peter Pan. Okay, it's already that it's a man and not a boy. Okay, so fine, we get it. They crammed so much of the Peter Pan lore, I guess is the word I want to say, into this movie. And I do really appreciate what they did. I feel like they took the time to think things out and twist things up. And I really, really do appreciate that. I'm not going to say it's a horrible movie. Okay, let's see. How do I say this? So, if you are in the mood for a really good slasher movie, okay? Say like we just ended Christmas, okay? And if you have ever seen the movie Silent Night, Deadly Night, you got a guy who's crazy in the head and he's killing people, okay? It's the same thing happening with this movie, but there are like so many different other movies that they pulled inspiration from. You can kind of see it and you're just like, okay, well, you can like do your own thing, I guess. I don't know. All right. Oh, gosh, we're gonna need a lot of alcohol to get through this video, you guys. Okay, so Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare. Okay, so the movie starts with a story being read of Peter Pan about how there's Neverland and there's mermaids and there's lost boys and they're playing on the Jolly Roger and blah blah blah. Okay, but then we see that it's the Peter Pan killer man with a kid on his like lap in a chair, and you're like, oh okay, well he's a pervert, which you already kind of see in the trailer. But now that you see it on big screen, you're like, oh, okay, that's where we're going. So so the movie then starts with Peter Pan in some kind of weird rundown hillbilly like circus. And if you know the story, there's this whole thing about Peter Pan and his shadow. He's chasing the shadow, whatever. So there's a nice lighting effect that shows him just kind of standing there, and then his shadow's on the ground, and you're like, oh, the shadow. Okay, cute. Done. All right, so he kind of picks out this boy in this crowd and gives him a balloon. And then that night, somehow this fool ends up under this kid's house in the cellar. So his mom's taking a shower. This kid's on the sofa, and then he pulls like an Evil Dead and pops his head out of this hatch on the ground. And then it goes from Evil Dead to Pennywise because he's all like, "Hi, ooh, come here. You gotta talk to you. We're friends. I gave you a balloon earlier." Okay, so of course he like gets this kid over. This God, kids are so dumb, but this kid comes over. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's great." He's like this horrible looking man on my floor. So the mom does catch him before it's too late. And like, okay, so the opening scene is fucking brutal and bloody as hell, you guys. Like the fight between Peter Pan and this kid's mom. She takes like things from the kitchen and like cuts and slices this guy's face up. Like it's crazy. But in the end, she loses and he takes the kid. Um and then we skip like 15 years later. Okay. So, we get to this home of Wendy, Michael, and John, who are the three kids in the Peter Pan story, right? And they are living with their mom. Are their names Darling? I never heard anyone say their last name. So I don't know if I missed that part or not. But anyway, the youngest kid is Michael, and it's his birthday that day. So Wendy gives him a ride to school. Now apparently his mom gave him a bicycle, and he's like, "I want to ride my bicycle to school." But when you see Wendy and him in the car driving to school, like they are literally on like a 13-mile like trip in this car. You think he's like, "I'm gonna ride my bike to school," which means the school is like maybe 4 or 5 blocks away. No, they are on this road traveling from like town to town. Like, where the fuck is this school at? And you were gonna ride a bike, and then when she gets to the school, it's just in time for him to not be late. Like the bell is ringing and everything. So you mean to tell me if he rode his bike, he was gonna get to school on time? Bull crap on that. Okay, so he has a friend. So Michael has his black friend. His name is Joey, and him and Joey are mates, right? What country are they in? I don't know, but is it England? I don't know where they are, but so they're mates, right? Wherever they call friends mates. However, there's a little point where they like hold hands, and so you're like, are they more than mates? School is over, and Wendy's gonna pick up Michael, but then she gets distracted because she has a boyfriend, and who cares about his part in the story? But they make it look like he gets kidnapped because there's this red killer van from the 80s, and that's the van that Peter Pan is driving around in with stars, and the back of it says like, "Let's go to Neverland." Hold that thought, because I was like, how the hell is this killer just in plain sight and no one sees this? So we think he got kidnapped, but not really. We just don't see that he actually got his bike and rode off. So instead of getting to the car with his sister to get ice cream, like who doesn't want ice cream? He's like, "I'm just gonna ride away by myself." So he does, and then Peter Pan sets up a trap, which I don't understand how he beat this kid into this path. You were in the parking lot, sir. This kid left a long time ago. How you know you're gonna go that way? This kid's riding his bike through the forest, and here comes Peter with a damn string across the road, like he's the damn coyote and Roadrunner. And so, of course, Michael flies off because he hits the string on his bike, and then he sees this van that says like, "Let's go to Neverland." And instead of just getting his bike and running away, he goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna walk over to this van." That's so stupid. It's all your fault. But that's how he gets kidnapped, you guys. So that night, the parents, well, it's the mom. I guess they have a dad, and their dad is somewhere. They're divorced or separated or somebody. So the mom is, of course, like, "Oh, Wendy, how could you? You weren't watching him, blah, blah, blah." She's like, "Fuck you. I was there." Okay. I was just distracted, but I was there. And then we also see Wendy works in a salon, and one of her co-workers is this black girl named, I know I keep saying black, but they are. What is her name? Well, who cares? I don't know her name, but she has this coworker who's her friend, right? Okay, so keep that in mind too. Wait, hold on. And Wendy's coworker, this girl, just so happens to be the older sister of Michael's friend Joey. That is his friend, his mate in school. Okay, there we go. Okay, so one thing I don't understand is we see Peter get his face like fucked up from fighting the mom trying to protect her kid. We fast forward like 15 years later, but then we get this weird scene where he goes into a party store and he steals a mask. And then as he tries to walk out, of course, the store clerk in there is like, oh, you got to pay for that. And then he dies. Yeah, these killing scenes are crazy. But anyway, why did it take him 15 years to get a mask? And he finds like this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this happy kill. Like you'll see it in the trailer. But like why did it take him 15 years to be like, I'm going to cover my face? And then, has he kidnapped anyone else within these 15 years? Like, we don't know. It's weird. What do you think he's the creeper from Jeepers Creepers? He comes out every like 28 years and shit. I was trying to put that together, but I couldn't for the life of me. Okay, so while Wendy and her mom are like going crazy, Wendy decides to go to this man's house. So her coworker and the coworker's brother Joey, is that even his name? I think it is. So she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go to this person's house who suffered the same situation when their kid got kidnapped, right? Because the night that Michael got kidnapped, the family gets a phone call, and then there's music playing, and then someone going, we're going to go to Neverland. We're going to go to Neverland. And so I guess they put together that it's this child abductor who's done it before, because apparently there's like news video and article about this guy. So she's like, well, I feel like something happened to this man prior to Michael. So she does. She goes to this man's house, and then he's talking about how, like, a long time ago, I swear he said when this Peter Pan guy was like 17 years old, he kidnapped my son. And this son's name was Timmy. And then it's funny when they do like the flashback and you see Timmy, you're like, wait, but that's a girl. But I guess Timmy felt he was a girl, and he's like 6, 7, 8 years old. He's really young. But you see this like little boy with barrettes. He has pink nail polish. He has a pink book bag. And he gets kidnapped by Peter Pan because now he's pretending to be the dude from that movie, The Black Phone, which I hate. I hate that movie, The Black Phone. I gotta talk about that movie one day. So now he's acting like, look at my van. You want to come in my van? And that's how Timmy is kidnapped. So here's another problem with this movie. We don't know how old Peter Pan is, because at one point he kidnaps this kid. We don't know how old he is. And then we're told that he kidnapped... Oh, well, I guess we do. Because Timmy was... Well, no, we don't. Because Timmy was kidnapped when the guy was 17. But how old is he when he stole that boy 15 years ago? He still looks like a grown-ass man. So... And I guess, the whole Peter Pan is like, I don't want to grow up. Lost boys don't grow up. But Peter is obviously grown up because he's older than what he was when he was 17. So he's not a kid. He's this grown-ass man walking around. So... So then we get this scene where Peter has his damn van, again, who says, like, want to go to Neverland. Even the news is like, this guy wants to take people to Neverland. Like, no one's inspecting this van. It's just driving around town. So he's sideways in the road and he stops this school bus. Okay, I don't know what country they're in, but that's actually a cool looking bus. It looks like a city bus, but it's like a school bus for these kids. So it's all full of boys, and then the driver gets out, and Peter kills him, and then he gets on this bus, and he's like, "Who wants to go to Neverland?" And all these boys are like, "Ah!" Now, okay, I guess it's really bad on film to show a kid die, but we just see like the aftermath, and you saw these bodies just in the woods. So he killed like 11, 12, 15 boys on this bus, and he dumped all these bodies in the woods. So we just see the aftermath, but like I would have liked to see like the kids fight back. Like, how did he kill these boys? Not one of them fought back. Not one of them escaped. That was a weird scene. So then Wendy's mom is like, "I hate you, Wendy, get out." So she's like, "Go to your dad's." So instead of going to her dad's, Wendy goes to her coworker, and she's sleeping there, right? So we do see that Michael is in this house somewhere. So Peter's hiding out in some rundown house. We don't know where it's at. No one knows where it's at. And he's in this room that has like painting of clowns and things on the wall. There's toys. There's a nasty, gross mattress on the floor. There's this black and white TV that is just constantly showing an alligator. So I figure, since this is the story of Peter Pan, that alligator that's constantly eating animals in this video is the alligator from the Peter Pan movie that ate Captain Hook's hand. There's no other explanation of why there's a crocodile on this TV. Okay, see what they did there, y'all? And we also are introduced to Tinkerbell. There is a Tinkerbell. It is this old woman with gross hair. She's a dope addict. Like, she is just, her arm is so full of holes, y'all. It is super disgusting. And she's shooting up with what? Not fairy dust, but pixie dust. So, wait, is it called pixie dust in Peter Pan? Anyway, it's called pixie dust. So that is what's happening in this movie. So you're like, okay, so there's just this random ass junkie lady living in Peter Pan's house. Like, is that his mom? Is that his? We don't know. She's just there. So Peter tells Michael, like, "Oh, I see," because he sees the picture of him and Joey. And he's like, "Oh, would you like me to bring Joey here?" And Michael's like, "No, don't bring Joey here." But what does Peter do? He goes and gets Joey. Now, how the hell does Peter Pan know where Joey lives? Also, he just shows up at Joey's house. How do you know where he lives? So while Wendy is staying there, Wendy's coworker gives her bed, and the coworker sleeps on the sofa. So now Peter Pan can't get into the house. He keeps going to these windows, and everything's locked except this one window where it's near the girl who's sleeping on the sofa. So he kills her, and then I guess the father must have heard or something. Or, no. I guess he must have been creeping through the house and went to the parents' room, because then you hear him and the father just going at it. So he ties the mom up, he kills the dad, and then Wendy's going around the house running, and she escapes, but he almost caught her a couple times, so he doesn't know that she's there. And then Wendy sees that he kidnaps Joey. So Wendy gets into the parents' car and follows Peter, right? Now, apparently, Tinkerbell is also in the van in front of Wendy. So now you got this killer van and this like station wagon going down this same road. Again, it's not like a city. They're like in the backfield somewhere. But I don't understand how you got Peter Pan and Tinkerbell in this van that has side mirrors. No one notices there's a station wagon like following behind them the whole time with their lights on. That don't look suspicious to you, especially when you're going to your secret hidden. It's super. hidden house in the middle of the woods. Like, come on now. How come they were like, oh, we're being followed? No one did that. No, they just went to the front door. They got Joey out and went inside, right? So Wendy, now she just starts making like stupid movie girl mistakes. Instead of being like, okay, well, let me just turn my ass around and go get the cops and get the SWAT here to break down the door of this house and go up in there and storm it. She decides, well, I'm just gonna go save my brother, who the fuck knows where he's at. I'm just gonna go into this house and just save the day. And then there's this whole thing with her cell phone is dead, of course, because why would your phone be charged? And yeah, so instead of getting help, being like, I know where this kid is being held. Nope, she says she's gonna go in there like a dummy. And then the rest of the movie is just pretty much just like a cat and mouse through this house, through this hallway. The kitchen seems to be a character on its own because we go in and out of this kitchen like 10 times. I don't care to see this kitchen anymore. But it's just the whole I'm gonna sneak to this door. Where's this? Oh, I see this. Okay. Oh, who's there? Is there someone in this house? Oh, I'm gonna find her. Oh, there you are. We're gonna chase and chase and chase. It's just a whole bunch of fucking back and forth just going on in this house. There's also this weird scene where Wendy's hiding and Peter like changes his clothes. And then we see that he has no dick or balls. And I'm just trying to think like, so why would Peter Pan not have a dick or balls? Because the camera pans down. He looks like a Ken doll. And I was just trying to figure out like, what does that mean? If you have any idea why Peter Pan does not have a dick or balls, can you please put it in the comments below? Because all right, y'all. So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. So Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's not a woman. When you first see Tinkerbell, you're like, that woman looks suspect. And then she starts talking, and you're like, that ain't no woman. So remember the Timmy person I was talking about who got kidnapped, the little boy who wanted to be a girl, his father accepted it, and he's wearing pink and everything else. Apparently that's Tinkerbell. And maybe Peter kept her alive because he's always saying how girls never go to Neverland, only boys. Girls don't go to Neverland, only boys. So I guess Timmy lucked out, which is why he's still alive. Oh, I don't know. And then the boy in the beginning, where Peter's all like playing Pennywise, whose mom fucked his face up. Apparently he's still alive after all these years. He's been in the basement, chained up. He looks a mess and gross. And then I knew something had to happen because I had to quickly remember that little boy's name was James. And I was like, James. The only person whose name is James in the Peter Pan story is Captain Hook. So what happens when this creature like comes out of the shadows? We see that he's missing a hand and it has been replaced with a hook. Or was it this hand? I don't know, who cares? And I'm like, oh, Lord, because now I have more questions. He's alive. He's been alive all this time. Is he pooping down there? Like, what is happening? Like, we just, oh my God. You're only supposed to know it's him because Wendy steps on this old picture that just so happens to be laying in a hallway. And then we kind of flash back to that kid. And you're like, oh, that's the kid from the beginning. Oh, yeah, that's right. His name is James. That's what happened. I was like, oh, he's not dead. Which then brings me to my next question. Like, how? It's been years. The timeline is so crazy in this because you mean to tell me these people are still alive? Why is he killing some people and not others? Why is he putting some people in rooms and not others? Like at one point he takes Joey and puts Joey in a damn coffin in like this weird other, well no, it was the basement. But what is the part of the coffin? I don't know. Anyway, there's a whole showdown between Wendy and Michael. They're both beating Peter's ass, and of course he's not dying. And then he gets carried away by Hook, which doesn't make any sense because how did Hook? I'm calling him Hook. I guess I'll just say James because I guess he's not called Hook in this movie. James comes out of the basement out of nowhere and hooks his body and pulls him out of sight. And then I guess we're supposed to assume that he's dead. But how the fuck did James get out of the basement? No one like unchained him. No one unhooked him. Wendy was going to help him. And she's like, oh, wait, no, I got to go because he's coming to kill me. So fuck you. And I'm going to run away. And then just like all horror movies, after the killer is either dead or taken away or we think he's dead or whatever, that's when you hear the police arrive, of course. The police always show up when ain't nothing else for them to fucking do. The reason the police show up is because Wendy did find Joey. Joey was in this coffin. Did I say that already? And she did get him out of the house. So she was like, run and don't look back. So Joey found help Wendy. You could have did that shit 30 minutes ago until we got this whole like running around the goddamn house sequence. So the movie ends with everyone at home and they're celebrating what's his face's birthday, Michael. And then the phone rings. And then Wendy goes and answers it. And we hear music playing. Just like it did when Michael first got kidnapped. And then the movie's over. So I guess since this is a Pooniverse, and apparently, just like the Avengers, the last movie is supposed to be like Pooniverse, like Assemble or something. Yo, we still got a couple more movies to go. We have fucking Bambi something something, and then there's Pinocchio's something something. Is that it? And then I think it's supposed to be like a collaboration movie with all these characters. So I guess they have to keep Peter alive, but I don't know. I guess it'll be my job to go and find out for you because I know you're just dying to know. But that's the movie, you guys. Like, here's the thing. We can obviously see that Peter is just demented. There's something wrong with him. He's always just like, I'm going to take you to Neverland. I'm going to take you to Neverland. I'm going to take you to Neverland. And like, that just means like he's going to fucking kill you. Like, we even get a time where Michael's like, so what did your mom do to you? He was trying to go into some story and then he said that his mom was mean to him, whatever. But I want him to see that. Why don't we have a flashback of Peter's childhood and so we can get a better idea, like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Because we just know that he's just this killer. Why is no one paying attention in this town? Like, there's a whole, like, YouTube video about this guy. You say that something happened and he was going to kill kids and take them to Neverland. He literally drives around in a murder van that says, let's go to Neverland on the back. All the clues are there. There's even like a time where, okay, maybe he's just obsessed with Peter Pan because at one point he thinks he's flying, like he kind of levitates off the floor, and then Tinkerbell comes into the room and then he just kind of turns around. So you're like, oh, all that was just in his mind. But he sees like this actual Peter Pan shadow on the wall, like pointing to things. The Peter Pan thing is not saying anything, but the shadow guy, is that supposed to be his shadow? I don't know. It's just a figure on the wall. But he's always like, pointing to things. And then once he points to something, that's what Peter does. And then he does this like weird thing with his voice. Like one moment he's talking like one way. And then the next moment he's like, oh, hey, Is that because you put the mask on? Is the mask like a different personality? Like, I don't understand this mask. You're not the Phantom of the Opera. But what I will say is that if you are looking for like a good slasher movie, not like what they did in fucking Winnie the Pooh. Uh, the kills in this movie are crazy. I will give them that. I will give them that. Like there were times I was cringing. I was like, oh my god. Ugh. Like there's times where Tinkerbell would take a piece of the skin behind her nail and would just kind of pull that weird string of skin. It's like stuff like that. You're like, it's so gross when it needs to be. So I did like that part. I was like, okay, well at least the kills are good. But just other than that, like there's no explanation of what is wrong with this guy. It just kind of starts and just goes from there. And like I said, the town is dumb. Like, there's a killer out there. Still don't know why it took him like 15 years to do anything. What's he been doing all this time? All right, you guys. Okay. The rant is over. So, if I had to rate Peter Pan. All right, hold on. Let me think about this. So, I think I'm going to give this movie. I'm going to give it 3 shots. Okay. I kind of want to go 2, but I will give it 3. I'm going to give it 3 because y'all, there is okay, so was it last year when Mickey Mouse went the public domain opened up? There was someone already just lined up. They were just waiting to hit the button to release this Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie killer movie, right? That I reviewed last year. And that was just a piece of shit. There's a trailer at the beginning of this movie for the next Steamboat Willie horror movie. And I believe it's called Screamboat Willie? Or is it just called Screamboat? I thought that was the joke, but then the trailer ended, and I was like, "Oh wait, was Screamboat the title?" So, if you're gonna take something in public domain and you're gonna do something, I guess the first thing people think of is like a slasher movie. Okay, you're fine, whatever. But like I said, I like that it wasn't just some man just running around in green tights going, I'm Peter Pan, I can fly. And he's not flying. Like, again, he's so demented that he's looking at this thing that he thinks is there. He's like, it starts levitating, but then you're like, is he though? But he's not, because that's how fucked up he is, right? So I like that it went into a different direction. It wasn't stupid and campy like Winnie the Pooh, where you get 5 or 6 girls in a rental house and then they all die, right? That's a stupid just 80s booby slasher movie. So I like that they did something different. Okay, they might have pulled from different inspirations here and there. Okay, fine, whatever. I do like the kills. The kills were fun. Um, and I thought I was okay. I thought I was okay. I thought I was good. It's not like the best movie. I've seen better slashers, but for what it is, I'm not taking this movie seriously. It is a fun watch. If I'm not mistaken, this is written and directed by, I can't think of his name, but he's the guy that plays Christopher Robin in the second Winnie the Pooh movie. So I kind of like that they're keeping it kind of in-house. Like, this is these people's thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they're responsible for everything. Okay, if it sucks, just blame them. But like, it's their ideas. They're keeping everything kind of like in-house in a way. So I do like that. So that's why I'm going to give this movie 3. Like, it's just this fun thing. And again, I said this in a previous video. I used to love, me and my brother used to watch just stupid horror movies, especially movies under the Full Moon production company. So, you got like Demonic Toys, you have Puppet Master, you have the Ginger Dead Man, and there's a Jack Frost. I don't know if Jack Frost is under that company, but just stupid stuff like that. Like you can't take it serious. It's there for entertainment, and I feel like this is what I paid for it. This is what I got. I just would have liked a little more background with Peter Pan, just like they did in the first Winnie the Pooh. Like there is actually an explanation of why there are mutant human animals walking around. So that's it. All right, there. I said it. All right, so cheers. This is gonna be so bad after I drink all that beer. Ooh, you gotta make sure to drink beer after liquor, okay? Okay. Ooh, done. All right, y'all. So that is my review of Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. After the 15th, I guess we gotta wait for streaming, video on demand, just like last year with Winnie the Pooh. So, are you gonna go see it? Did you see it? I'm curious if you did see this movie. Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts? Did you like it? There was only like 10 of us in the theater I was in. And I was kind of dying to walk up to a stranger and be like, what'd you think? But I had to pee, so I had to go. I had a large drink I was drinking, so I couldn't stop the chat. All right, you guys. So, yeah, please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see y'all in the next episode. So, until then, TTFN.